guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you clicked on this video, you want to know all about the Mothership number 8 palette, and this is in Divine Rose number 2. I previously did a review on the Divine Rose number 1, which I absolutely loved, and this one I was really excited about, only because I've watched numerous of videos about this palette in general, but then at the same time I've watched the McGrath Mothership eyeshadows rankings, and this palette, besides the Bronze Seduction and Midnight Sun, it always lies on the top 3 tier. So I knew that I needed this palette, and I have no regrets after having a chance to use this palette today, having a chance to also swatch these shades today. It's just mind-blowing, and I'm not into pinky tones of eyeshadows in general, but this year I had a chance to play with a lot of pink eyeshadows, and it's sort of changing my perspective on pink eyeshadows. So we are going to go over the swatches of this Divine Rose 2, and then I'll guide you guys through on the process of my makeup. So let's just begin. So the way I decided to swatch these eyeshadows, I decided to leave out the Bliss Astral shades at the end, and I decided to swatch these first 6 shades first. So the first shade is called Skin Show Rose Opal, and it is described as incandescent champagne with opalescent shift, and I do notice that there are a lot of pinky undertones to this one. I've used it in my inner corners and also as a highlight, and I absolutely love this highlighter. I don't think I have anything like this in the other motherships, at least I don't think so, but I really love the bit of the pink reflexes in it. I think it's just super gorgeous. So going from left to right, the second shade is called Naked Blush, and this is described as a mid-toned coral matte, and this I used as my transition shade and also as a blush shade. And this, you guys, this shade is super gorgeous. It's a beautiful kind of like a terracotta warm pink, I want to say. It's just gorgeous. There's definitely a bit of orangey tones in it, and I feel like for medium skin tones this is such a gorgeous kind of like a neutral color. I love this shade. Still going from left to right, the third shade is called Eleganza, and I feel like this is how RuPaul will say it, but this shade is described as chromatic plum pink, and this has to be my favorite shade from this palette. It's just, I used it as my all over lid shade today, and oh my god, this plum pink is just so beautiful. It's like silver but plum and pink at the same time. It's just, oh my gosh, it's just so gorgeous. Wasn't expecting much from the shade just looking at the pan, but when I swatched it I immediately fell in love. So Extreme Burgundy, I believe this was a repeated shade if I'm not mistaken from another palette. It's described as a deepened burgundy matte, and I use this to smoke out my eye makeup look today on the outer corners. And this is a nice kind of like an eggplant burgundy sort of color. It's just a really gorgeous purple. And then the shade next to it is called Divine Dust, and this is described as a luminous rose bronze, and this is also another gorgeous shade. I can't wait to use this for all over my eyelids next time. I love shades like these. I feel like this is like one and done kind of eyeshadow. It is also really beautiful. I love shades like these. And moving on to this intimidating shade, this is called Rose Seduction, and this is described as a vivid magenta satin. And oh my gosh, this hot pink color I don't know if I ever want to place this on my lids. I'm kind of afraid to use this color, but I really want to do another eye makeup look using this shade alone. It's just a little bit out of my comfort zone. It's just like a Barbie pink, but I think for spring and summertime this shade would be more appropriate, if that makes sense. But a beautiful shade nonetheless. So we're now moving on to the special shades. The first one is called Bronze Rose 005, and this is described as a metallic copper rose. So I can see a little bit of a pinky kind of bronzy tones in this one. It is a gorgeous copper rosy shade. And this will be great for sort of like your all over lid color or in a corner highlight. This would be a gorgeous shade. And then next to it, from left to right, this one is called Gold Lust 001. And this is described as a glistening antique gold. So this gold is a very vibrant yellow gold compared to the bronze rose one. So you have like the copper shade and true gold shade. Both of these are very, very nice metallic eyeshadows. So moving on to the most exciting color in this palette. I'm sure most people will agree. This is called the VR Sextra Terrestrial shade. I love how Mama Pat name her eyeshadows. It's just very, very intriguing. So this is described as a fuchsia, golden peach, chartreuse, triochrome. I'm sure I'm butchering that a word, but this is such a unique shade. I don't have anything like this in my makeup collection. I only have a couple of duochromes, but triochrome, this is the first one for me. So this is a very special shade. I decided to use it on my lower lash line and I'm just like in love. And I initially wanted to use this all over my lids, but I think a lot of people have been doing that, so I wanted to try out something different. So I decided to use it on my lower lash line, and I'm not mad at it. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous shade. And I didn't, of course, get this palette just for this shade alone, but this shade is something else, you guys. And then down to this very last shade. This is called Astral Pink Moon, and this is described as a glittering peach champagne, and I actually use this color on my inner corners as well. It's a nice topper shade. I feel like shades like this, you can pretty much place this shade on top of any of these shades and transform any of these shades, if that makes sense. So this is a unique color and I am not mad at it. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous glittery shade. So that's the end of all of the swatches. I initially really thought that this palette was going to be really out of my comfort zone, but playing with it or having a chance to play with it today, I realized that you can pretty much create neutral looks with this palette if you really wanted to. Because if you hide all of these shades, the first 4 shades, you can pretty much create an everyday look just using these shades. And I am glad that I decided to purchase this palette because it just blew my mind today. So let's just go over the gist of how I created my simple eye makeup look today. So I went in with Naked Blush all over my lids and kind of like in my crease, but then kind of placing that shade, blending that shade out all over my lids first. So after placing that Naked Blush shade, I went in with Extreme Burgundy to deepen out my outer V, just to help create more depth. I went in with the shade, just making sure I placed that color just right on that outer V, and I blended out as much as possible to not have any sort of harsh lines on my eye makeup look today. So I really wanted to use Divine Dusk, but then I decided to use Eleganza First of all, I love that name, and second of all, the shade is that sort of pink and plum and silver tone. It just helps brighten up my eye makeup look overall. So I decided to wet my brush just a little bit, and I went in with this shade on top of all over my eyelids today, and it's just, oh my gosh, it's just looks amazing. And then I decided to blend all of those shades together. Just went over with a big fluffy brush just to diffuse all of the colors together, and it's just, they blended amazing and they look really good together. My lower lash line, I went in with Extreme Burgundy for my outer lash line, and then of course I went in with the VR Sextra Terrestrial shade on the center of my lower lash line, and just smoking that color out all over my lower lash line. It's just so beautiful. And for my inner tear duct, I decided to go in with Skin Show Rose Opal, and on top of that, because I am just being extra, I went in with Astral Pink Moon on top of that, just to help brighten up my eye look. And that's that for my final look. I really love the outcome of my eye makeup. It's just so gorgeous. I don't even want to take it off because I am just obsessed with it. Of course, I went in with liner, lashes, false lashes, and for my blush, I went in with Naked Blush. I've already mentioned that. And then for the highlight, Skin Show Rose Opal, just a little bit, and it kind of helped to complete my makeup look. So for my lips, just to be in this Pat McGrath theme, I went in with Beautiful Stranger. This is a gorgeous pinky nude color. I think this is great for spring and summertime. I love shades like this. This is a gorgeous peachy color if you guys are looking for a bright lipstick. And then just to make it a little bit more pink, I went in with Sunset Rose Mini Lip Gloss from Pat as well. So these two shades together. I really love the feel of her Matrons lipstick line. I purchased this when it was on sale for like $19, so I didn't pay full price for this at all. Neither this one. Anyways, if you have this palette already, let me know what you guys think about it, and if you're planning to pick this up, let me know in the comments down below. As usual, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.